Hello everyone. Next presentation regarding four-stroke diesel engine. Firstly, we have to see the basic concept of engine. An engine is a motor which converts chemical energy into mechanical energy. That is called engine. Introduction of four-stroke engine. Engine is a motor which converts chemical energy into mechanical energy. Fuel or petrol engine means the petrol engine known as the gasoline engine in North America is an internal combustion engine with spark ignition. So designed to run on petrol, that is gasoline, and similar volatile fuels. In four-stroke engine is a four-stroke engine is also known as four-cycle is an internal combustion engine in which the piston completes four separate strokes which comprise a single thermodynamic cycle. A stroke refers to the full travel of the piston along the cylinder in either direction. Four-stroke engine is four-stroke cycle engine is a working at completed four stroke of the piston or two revolutions of the crankshaft. It is called as four-stroke engine. It is two types of valves as separated they are. First one is inlet valve and second one is exhaust valve. Valve. Four-stroke petrol engine working at the four types of strokes. First one is suction stroke, second one is compression stroke, third one is power stroke or also we can say expansion stroke, and last stroke is that is the exhaust stroke. Suction stroke is as shown in figure and their important parts is also shown by notifications. The suction stroke, that is also called intake stroke. During the suction strokes, the piston moves downward by the engine crankshaft either by the momentum of flywheel and or the electric motor or the starter motor is during this stroke piston moves downward and creates a vacuum inside the combustion chamber. Inlet valve, that is also called intake valve, opens during this stroke, allowing the air fuel mixture to enter the combustion chamber. Here, the fuel is petrol mixed with air broken up into a mist and partially vaporized in the carburetor. These are the suction stroke. The number of different parts is available, that is crankshaft, rod, connecting rod, then piston, then combustion chamber, air fuel mixture, then intake valve, next is spark plug, and that is exhaust close, that is suction intake. Next one is compression stroke. That compression stroke is used during this stroke. Piston moves upward and compresses the charge. The heat produced by the compression makes more homogeneous mixture of air and petrol inside the cylinder. This heat makes it easier to burn. During this stroke, both valves remains is going to be closed, and that's how the parts of is a valve is going to be closed system. Compression air fuel mixture is completely compressed. Power or exhaust stroke. During this stroke, this mixture under compression is ignited by the spark that is produced by a spark plug. The expansion of the gases due to heat of the combustion creates a pressure on the piston and the cylinder walls. So, during this stroke, piston moves downward. Both valves remain closed during this stroke. Exhaust stroke is during the stroke the inlet valve remains closed and the exhaust valve remains open. During this stroke, piston moves upward and pushes the burn gases out through exhaust valve. Only a small amount of exhaust gases remain in the clearance space, which gets diluted with the fresh incoming charge during a next suction stroke. In this type of engine, 4 strokes of piston are required to complete the cycle. First stroke makes 2 revolutions of the crankshaft. Each alternative revolutions of the crankshaft has one power stroke. A power stroke consists of above mentioned cycles. The important part is crank plug firing, intake valve closed, exhaust valve open, and exhaust gases. That exhaust piston pushes out burn gases. This is the thermodynamic process analysis. The graphical presentation show the V means that is the volume and the graphical presentation volume with respect to pressure. V means volume and P means that is the pressure. The all over system is going to be combustion process is going to be used, that is the step of 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. The constant volume process, adiabatic processes, and all over system is going to be used. So that's all over system is combustion process in 3 to 4. Compression stroke is used in 2 to 3. Then power stroke process is constant volume process, that is also called adiabatic process, that is in 4 to 5. And last process is 5 to 6, that is heat rejection process. This all our process is called as thermodynamic process analysis. Advantages of four stroke petrol engine have the less fuel consumption. Then second point is thermal efficiency is more. Third point is more volumetric efficiency. And last point is that is less wear and tear. And the disadvantages of four stroke petrol engine is more components. First disadvantages. Second one is separate valve mechanism is required. Third point is more cost. And fourth point is more complicated design. Applications of four-stroke petrol engine have the four-stroke version is generally used for larger applications and is the most common type of engine used in automobiles today. This type of engine is an ingenious and practical design that has powered millions of vehicles. It produces a large amount of power in an efficient and effective manner. It also generally produces less pollution and lasts longer than a two-stroke engine. The engine was created by Nicholas Otto in the mid 1800s, and his owner it's time sometimes known as the Otto engine. The four main strokes or steps that makes up the cycle are intake, compression and combustion and exhaust, which is sometimes also called as Otto cycle. Then next point is lubrication of four stroke petrol engine. Four stroke engines are lubricated by oil held in an oil sump. The oil is distributed through the engine by splash lubrication or a pressurized lubrication pump system. This system may be used alone or together. The history of this four-stroke system, that is Otto cycle, is Dr. Nicholas Otto. So on the honor of this person, this cycle is called as Otto cycle, which has to be published in 1876. History of this four-stroke Otto cycle is one of the most important landmarks in engine designs by Nicholas August Otto in 1876, who is invented as effective four-stroke engine. That's why it is called as Otto cycle engine. In 1885, German mechanical engineer Karl Benz designed and built the world's first practical automobile to be powered by an internal combustion engine on January 29, that is 1886. That is two cycle engines in Ducal Clark, that is the 1878. Four-stroke engine was first demonstrated by Nicholas Otto in 1876. It consists of four-stroke. One cycle operation is completed in four-stroke, one of the piston. That is, one cycle is completed in every revolutions of the crankshaft. Each stroke consists of 180 degree of crankshaft rotation, and hence a cycle consists of 720 degree of crankshaft rotation. Working principle of four-stroke engine have the following are the four-stroke. First one is intake or suction stroke, second one is compression stroke, third one is expansion stroke, and fourth one is exhaust stroke, which has to be already shown. Intake stroke, which has to be shown in short, that is in suction stroke, piston starts at top dead center, that is called the TDC, of the cylinder and moves the bottom dead center, that is BDC. Outlet valve will be closed and inlet valve will be open to allowing the fresh charge of mixed fuel and air into the cylinder. Compression stroke. In compression stroke, once piston reaches BDC and moves back TDC, inlet valve will be closed as the piston moves towards TDC. It compresses air-fuel mixture inside the cylinder and compression takes place. Hence it is called compression stroke. 3. Expansion stroke. In expansion stroke, both the valves are closed. When piston reaches top of its stroke, the fuel mixture is ignited by spark plug. Due to spark, high temperature and pressure generated inside the cylinder and push down the piston to BDC. Hence, it is called as expansion stroke. Exhaust stroke. In this stroke, exhaust valve is opened when piston reaches to BDC and moves to upward. Piston pushes out the burnt gases to the atmosphere through the exhaust valve, hence called exhaust stroke, and the engine is ready to begin the cycle. That is the parts of engine. First one is crankshaft, then piston, then water jacket, then next part is the combustion chamber, next part is intake manifold, next part is intake valve, then electrical contact, then exhaust valve, then rocker arm, cams, cylinder, piston rod, and crankcase. These are the important parts of engine. Various parts of again engines, that cylinder block, cylinder head, inlet valve and exhaust valve, piston, piston rings, connecting rod, john pin, then crankshaft, then crankcase, then crank pin. Next point is camshaft, next point is spark plug, and next point is fuel pump. Cylinder block is used. The cylinder block, also called as engine block, as the main bottom end structure. Usually it is made up of iron or aluminum. The function of the cylinder block is in the bore of the cylinder, the fresh charge of air fuel mixture is ignited and compressed by piston. Cylinder head is used. The cylinder head is flat plate of metal bolted to the top of cylinder block which head gasket in between. Top of a head contain rocker arm and push rod to transfer rotational mechanic from the crankshaft to linear mechanic to operate the valves. It is the key to perform of the internal combustion chamber. Inlet valve and exhaust valve. Inlet valve, its function is to intake the fresh air fuel mixture into the cylinder, and exhaust valve means its function is to exhaust the burn gases by the force of piston. The piston means piston is connected to the crankshaft through the connecting rod. When piston moves downward, sucks fresh air fuel mixture in suction stroke and ignited inside the cylinder. Due to this high temperature and pressure generated, thus expanded gas flows down to piston. Next, piston ring. A piston ring is an open-ended ring that fits into a groove or outer diameter of the cylinder. Piston rings have three major functions, which are to seal the expansion chamber, support heat transfer, and finally regulate the engine oil consumption. Connecting rod and gudgeon pin. A small end of connecting rod is connected to the piston and other end is connected to the crankshaft. Its function is to transmit the reciprocating motion of piston to the rotary motion of crankshaft. Gudgeon pin is used to connect the piston and connecting rod. Crankshaft is the part of an engine which translates the reciprocating linear motion of piston into rotation. To convert the reciprocating motion into rotation, the crankshaft has crank pin. It typically connects the flywheel to reduce the pulsation and characteristics four-stroke cycles. Crankshaft is the crank connecting rod is firstly fully developed by Arab inventor, that is Alzari. In this similar crankshaft leg described by Conrad Kisser in 1405. The main function of crankshaft is receives the oscillating motions from connecting rod and gives rotary motion to main shaft. It also drives the camshaft which actuate the revolves of the engine. That camshaft means camshaft is a part which is used in piston engine to operate valves. It consists of cylindrical rod with cams. The camshaft were invented in Iraq, described by Alzari in 1206. The relationship between camshaft rotation and crankshaft rotation is of critical importance. Since valves controls the flow of air fuel mixture intake and exhaust burn gases, valves must be opened and closed at appropriate time during the stroke of piston. For this reason, the camshaft is connected to the crankshaft either directly via a gear mechanism or indirectly via belt or chain called as timing belt or timing chain. The camshaft rotates at the same rate of the crankshaft. Spark plug. Spark plug is used in petrol engine only, which is help to engine ignite the air fuel mixture for combustion. The difference between 4-stroke and 2-stroke petrol engine. Firstly, 4-stroke engine is one cycle completed in every 2 revolutions of crankshaft. Other side, one cycle completed in every revolution of crankshaft. More moving parts in available 4-stroke engine, less moving part is available in 2-stroke engine. More maintenance required, then here less maintenance. Heavy in weight, then light in weight. 4-stroke engine is more expensive, 2-stroke engine is less expensive. 4-stroke engine have produce more pollution, and in 2-stroke that is less pollution. 4-stroke engine have long engine life, and 2-stroke engine have less, म्हणजे short engine life. It is also not required any lubricant, and it also required a mix of oil and lubricate the crankshaft. And in 4-stroke engine have the complex design, and in 2-stroke engine have simple design. So these are all over basic and important information regarding four-stroke engine and the difference between two-stroke and four-stroke engines. Thank you.